Hello, my name is Eric Lusa. I'm the audio editor and the character of Don Fleur in the production. For those who haven't watched the previous episodes, this content is considered PG-13 due to the references to alcohol and to violence. Also, everything is entirely unscripted, so everything from dialogue to events is dictated on the spot by the actors and the DM. This isn't a proper show, so while I edit everything together, it's all done in one take, leading to some random and sometimes awkward dialogue. But with that out of the way, on to the show.
At this time, you guys have all decided to go rest up, take it easy, get your supplies ready. Next morning, it's a little bit sunnier. I mean, you are in Florida. It's the sunny state. You guys kind of like meander over to where the docks are, where you're supposed to meet up. I just want to ask, who is the first one who's going to be walking into the scene? Okay, so, and are you with McCoy?
Sure.
Okay, so in this case, I'll just have you guys up here first. So you guys, when you walk up, you are bringing your donkey along. What's your donkey's name, by the way?
Lev.
Lev, okay. So you are moving your donkey, Lev. You two kind of approach the docking area where you actually see Lucy's character and the same bodyguard from last night. You also see the alligator and you can actually see like the gold collar around his neck. It reflects off the sun around the alligator's neck. It's just kind of sitting there, and Lucy's character sees you guys and beckons you to come on over. They're standing by a large wooden boat, but you notice it's a steamboat. If you kind of think like, those boats from Jungle Cruise, if you like the stylization, it's a little bit bigger than that. And if not, it's just basically like, if you think steamboat. Steamboat. It's just a steamboat.
All right.
Cool. So when you guys walk up, obviously, McCoy, Lucy seems more interested in like singing because obviously you're placed in charge. When you walk up, is there anything you're going to say or do as you walk up to Lucy's character?
I take off my hat again and just greet her.
Hello, you are ready to go on the journey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
As you're doing this, like, the alligator doesn't seem to mind you. The alligator looks at Lev the donkey, and its eyes kind of widen a little bit. Your donkey just doesn't seem to notice the alligator until it looks down and you're like, it starts to freak out a little bit.
Can I try and soothe it?
Quickly do animal rating, D20 now.
22.
You were able to, like, whisper sweet things in the donkey's ear, and the donkey's like, oh, and it's just chill. It's just like, I'm chill. And it kind of follows you over. The alligator kind of just like hisses a bit, but doesn't seem to do much, nor does the donkey acknowledge it. Are you guys going to do anything before you get on the boat?
Nope.
Can I ask to take the donkey really quick? Can I, like...
Are you just like running up behind them?
Yeah. No, I run up behind...
Okay, so you run up.
Yup. Can I have that donkey really quick?
Why?
Because I want to use it something.
What might that something be?
I won't... What? It would ruin the surprise.
I don't like surprises.
Okay, well... Sorry to bug you. And then I walk away.
Okay, so
But
you,
not onto the boat.
so you just back off a little bit. Okay, yeah,
Can Claude like run to catch up with Godfrey?
sure. You run up to catch up with him, and you kind of see him just kind of backing away from the donkey, and Lucas is kind of like, what was that?
What happened, Godfrey?
I was gonna bring the donkey to the crocodile and tell him I brought you a sacrifice if you don't.
Horrible person.
Can you wait?
I wasn't actually gonna do it. I wasn't actually gonna like let the crocodile eat the donkey.
McCoy and Jesse, can you roll D20 for intelligence?
No.
Intelligence?
Yeah.
18.
10.
Okay, Jesse, you didn't really hear this. McCoy, you for sure overheard. Like, literally, Cloud's like, what happened? You're like, well, I was trying, like, you were so obvious that McCoy's just sitting there just, like, leaning over the boat and just hears you guys. And, McCoy, is there anything you're going to say or do at this time?
I just glare at Godfrey. I act like I did nothing. I'm like, why would you
Roll for deception.
stick your head at me? I rolled a 3. I got a 3.
McCoy, just roll d20 if you're able to beat.
Come on, get away.
7.
No!
McCoy's like looking at you and just shakes their head. And Clock, you just roll d20 too.
19.
19. Yeah, no one buys your lies.
It was a joke!
I
swear the donkey was not gonna die.
Oh my god.
Please, just, what do you want? Money? What do you please?
No, I'm not gonna ask you anything. I just asked you don't sacrifice donkeys to gators.
Okay. Can I take my gold pouch and like hold it up to what's it called, McCoy? And like offer like, yeah.
Can I try to like put his hand down?
Yeah, you can.
Can I like put his hand down?
I
I'm
seem
like,
very disappointedly walk up to the
Stop.
When you-
My carrot Claude's like, stop, what are you doing? Just put your hand down.
Can you roll d20 super quick? Roll again.
4.
You heard nothing of what just happened.
Okay.
All you see is Godfrey and Claude walking up. Do you say anything or want to greet them in any way, shape, or form?
He's like, hello, you're ready to go on this adventure?
Yes, I am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go on ahead up.
Jesse McCord, was there something else you wanted to say or do? No.
You said I heard like barely like.
You
not
kind of heard.
like,
You just kind of
the
heard.
talk. Like, they-
You
they're
just
saying words I can
heard
understand.
Claude and Godfrey talking to each other. You didn't really hear the context of said conversation.
Alright.
McCoy could tell you. You want? Oh, you want to tell? Okay.
I'm going to nudge Jesse on like the sign, like you know that weirdo over there. How about your donkey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's a good thing you objected because he was actually about to feed your donkey to that gator, to the boss lady.
Wow.
I know. It's freaky, I know.
I see we have enemies on the
Should I
ship
roll
now.
to see if I heard those? Like,
Can Godfrey and Claude just roll d20?
15.
16.
You definitely heard McCoy pass this information on to Jesse. And literally, like, it's kind of awkward because you're getting on the boat and you're kind of the same space and you're just like, maybe like 2 feet away from each other, just sort of like close to each other. Hey, Cronus, can you roll d20 super quick?
1,
7.
Can you roll d20 super quick?
5.
No one seems to notice that when Godfrey was going up the plank, Lucy, you don't even notice this too, but your alligator was like quietly like just following. And when everyone's just standing by the boat, the alligator's just like on the little walking deck just sitting there. And right now, I would say McCoy and Jesse and Claude, you see this? Kronos does not.
I had the same thing. I seen
Can Claude nudge Godfrey?
You can.
Godfrey. No, just hide behind him.
Exactly. It's just like,
Is he still there?
you know what I mean?
You're like, ah. You just hide
It's
behind.
like the picture of the elephant hiding behind the thin tree. It's like no one will find me here.
Can I turn? Are we facing the gator?
The gaze, you guys are. Lucy, you just now notice your gator is like quietly following.
I give like a nod of approval.
Can I turn to the gator?
Yeah.
Hey, big guy.
The alligator just kind of just sits there and just looks at you and just looks around, and it hisses.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Can I try and like get the gator to like, go back by like talking to it?
You're gonna walk up to him. He's like, "Hey, that's not the total way."
Hey, bro. That's not the tour away, man. You can't do
I have my
that.
donkey either.
Okay, so you walk up to the alligator. The alligator's just looking at you and just sits there.
Can I try and like ask it to go back? I'm like, sure.
So you're saying to the alligator, he's like, "Shoo, shoo." Roll for intimidation.
13.
The alligator just looks at you and takes a step forward. So it's moving closer onto the boat. At this point, you definitely notice that your alligator is like not going back.
Can I just move to the side? Because I noticed that I'm really close
Yeah, you can. You quietly back up and doesn't seem bothered by you.
Can I sort of like usher it forward to keep going onto the boat?
As you're doing that, one of your bodyguards is like, "Boss, I don't mean to be the killjoy in your fun, but I'm not so sure the alligator's gonna get much work done up there."
Just want to see some action over here. It's kind of boring day.
Granted, yes, I agree with that, but if this was like the first party of people, I would say like, let's watch and see what happens. But this is the third group of people.
You're right. Just let him go. I meant the people, not the alligator.
Do you want me to get the alligator?
No. I just tell him to come back.
The alligator just looks back. It looks at you, Lucas, narrows his eyes a little bit, and then turns, and then just walks back onto the dock. So it's there. At this time, who else? Because I know there's two people who have yet to come on in.
I'm going to just walk up, just get on the boat. I don't really want to talk to anyone. Just gonna.
Dang.
Okay. And you just get on the boat.
Holy hell. God.
What do you want to do?
I would like to just walk up and, give a friendly wave while I walk onto the boat.
Okay.
Nod my head.
So at this time, could everyone roll a d20 for intelligence, please?
18.
18.
14.
14.
I got the best 18. Oh, actually 17 because it's for intelligence, right?
One got 2. Eric.
Actually, it's 4.
Okay, so Reno and Eric, you fail to realize as you're walking onto the boat. The boat's, it's not like a new boat, but it's not like so old that it's probably gonna fall apart. It's kind of like, it's a relatively like maybe a few years old. It still kind of looks, the paint it had a few years ago is still on, even though it's chipped away. But you notice that the name of this boat is simply Black Bear. So, or BB for short. When you guys are entering on the boats, you guys are able to put your supplies, or in this case, your donkey, away. Lucy, your character is kind of sitting there in the dock while the bodyguard kind of walks on. He kind of looks over at everyone and says, "All right, McCoy, where's McCoy at?"
Or use my van.
Okay, so I was like, so here, since you're in charge, I'm just going to tell you some of the specifics. Everyone else can either listen in or find themselves quietly before they ship off. What are you guys going to do? Or are you guys going to stick around, or?
I wanted to ask if there's a kitchen on the boat or like somewhere I can cook.
He nods. He's like, yeah, if you go down below deck, there should be a little space for you to cook up your food.
All right.
Cool.
Then I just like sit around.
Okay, so you're sitting around. Is anyone else going to be not listening in on debrief? Eric?
Not? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna like head over to the top side of the boat, actually.
Okay, so you kind of meander your way up.
I am. I'm sitting around. Just not.
Oh yeah, I know you are. Reno, Cronus, and Ross, are you gonna be sticking around, or are you gonna just move?
Yeah, I'm gonna just.
My character will stay.
Okay. And then, okay, cool. So the person kind of sits there and says like, okay, so there are gonna be a few things I'm gonna give to you. First of all, they give this little piece of paper to you. It's like, that document has the names of the original people who were supposed to bring back the cargo. As I said, someone asked before, like, if the box is open, as I said, like, you better find, if there's no one else around or someone is there, you should be able to recognize them by those names. They know what they signed up for. They're not going to try and lie to you. The guy kind of shows you the map, which is, I know obviously our viewers don't really see it, but we'll get a way for them to see it. And he says, look, this is the map of Dead Man Swamp, of the immediate area. The one thing I will say is, like, we're up here. Is as normally we would have taken you down to the local docking bay, but because the railroads are flooded, it's a little inaccessible, so we figured to launch the boat here. And the only thing I'll say right now is that, look, there's a lot of things I've heard in this area. There's like weird people roaming around. There's even like, you know, some strange village of monsters or some savages. I don't really know, but you just want to tread carefully. But the one thing I'll say right now is that as far as like location goes, the last time we heard is from our group is on the top left of the map. However, we do know that there might have been some people spotted down south or more in the interior. It's really kind of hard to tell, nor because we sent so many people out there, we've lost so many people. We don't know if there's even anyone else left alive. But I will say, like, hopefully if you do see anyone, if you see the names on those papers and they register that, maybe we get some answers of what happened. But in that case, though, like, you guys are mostly on your own, but I'm sure you have enough supplies. The bodyguard looks at you, and his face kind of looks like, in a way, he's just like, serious enough, it's like, yeah, you're probably gonna die. And he kind of turns and just walks off the boat. At this time, everyone's kind of sitting in the boat. The bodyguard looks over at Lucy, then looks over at you, looks at Lucy. It's like, wait, does anyone know how to drive a boat?
No, I don't think so, judging based off of the looks from everyone here.
Oh yeah.
I've had some experience, but it's not that good.
They look at Lucy and they just kind of whisper a little bit. He sighs really loudly. He's like, hold on a sec. He turns and walks off a little bit. About like 10 minutes come by, and eventually the bodyguard comes back, and there's like a smaller gentleman with him. He's kind of like hunched over. And can you guys roll D20 for me super quickly?
Nate.
3.
I got a 9.
So I added over.
I rolled better.
I got a 18.
19.
Quite smart.
So Lucas, McCoy, and is it Abby or is it just Abby with an I or a Y?
It's Abigail.
Abigail.
Landon's easier for you.
That's fine.
Shut up.
Okay, Abigail. Because I keep wanting to say Abby. I was like, wait, I don't think that's theoretically right. So Abigail, you guys see this guy has like a really long, like, white beard. He's like hunched over. He has like a cowboy hat, and he's kind of like just like following the bodyguard. The bodyguard looks already like super annoyed, and Lucy kind of recognizes this individual, but doesn't say anything about this. He climbs on the boat. He looks at everyone and says, "Howdy, my name's Chester. Looks like I'm gonna be driving this death boat with you all in it. Hope you guys made your last funeral arrangements, cause hoo. And he just kind of like giggles and just walks off. And the bodyguard just kind of looks at everyone, just kind of gives a thumbs up, but looks like super serious and just seems like just like good luck. Yeah,
And I glare at the guard.
you do.
He seems delightful.
Just the bodyguard just says like just let him do his job. Leave him alone. Don't try and talk to him about what happened at the alligator wrestling incident of 1840, and you'll be fine.
I like his hat.
Strangely specific, but okay. So Chester, like, he seems like a crazed old man, but he immediately starts to getting to work. The steam starts to ignite. The engine starts to like roll a little bit, and soon you guys do back the boat out. Lucas, was there something you're gonna say, or just...
I wanted to go say hi to Chester.
You go up and says hi. He looks at you and says, "Howdy. What do you want?"
Can I know more about the alligator wrestling incident?
As you were like pulling out, the bodyguard's just like, you had one job. And the guy, Chester, looks at you and looks like astonished about something, as if like you made his day. Before I go on, yeah.
I would like to join in with Jesse and just take a listen at this.
Okay, yeah.
Can I kind of like eavesdrop from like somewhere like where I'm not like obviously seeing, but I'm kind of like peeking around a corner or something where I'm like looking at them while they're talking?
Okay. So, Lucas, I hope you're ready. Can you roll just a d20 for me, please?
11.
Okay, so for the next like few hours, he's going to talk nonstop about this. And because you rolled low, the moment you try to leave, he's going to take that as an insult. So I hope you're ready for a long conversation. before so they see you, and he's just like, oh, right, you're the captain. Look, and he kind of points to the map. He's like, this is fine gentleman who's asked me about the great alligator wrestling incident of 1840, which I'm gonna. Oh, he's like ready to talk about that. He's like, but I've been told to ask you where you like the boat to go, because I am not in charge. The last time I was placed in charge, a boat caught on fire and someone's cattle may or may not have drowned. I don't talk about that. So, in this case, you're up here. So the question is like where, because you're in a boat, each hexagon represents like 6 miles. So because you're on a steamboat, you will definitely cover enough ground. But as far as like where you'd want to go for, like in which direction, because obviously you can only go downwards, but or you can ask Chester any questions too about what they might think.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Chester about what they think. Where should I go?
What do I think about what? Like,
Where do you think I should be on this boat?
where you think on the boat? You should be right here.
Well, where do you think this boat should go?
The Chester looks at the map and says, He says, well, I know in the northern section was where one of the last boats were gone out, but I do know that I know the boss lady previously sent some other people down the southern part, because there were some other people, some denizens, some locals living in the area that may or may not have some useful information. But as far as like where exactly to go, it's really kind of up to you.
I'll take your advice and go
So you can go south, so like
south.
you can go south. This is kind of more in the interior. The northern area is kind of like, so.
Yeah, I'd go south.
All right. So in this case, you chug along, and as you're leaving Dead Man's Reach, Lucas, for like this entire time, it's been like you guys are kind of trucking along for like 40 miles. He talks nonstop about this incident. He talks about how like the alligator wrestling was rigged. The guy was not even the same. That was the person's like grandpa. Like he just goes in this giant tangent, and you've literally lost track of what's going on, but you've not been able to like leave the conversation. Yeah.
Can Claude, since he's still there, he didn't leave, can he kind of give Jesse like a thumbs up, like, and like a smile?
Yeah, I can do that. It's like, good job. Yeah.
Can I cross my arms and look amused at this man's story?
Yes. You can also do that. Yeah.
Can I try and like interject and like add some comments to the story?
Roll d20.
19.
You are able to interject without sounding like a jerk. He kind of stops and hears your little comments and stuff like that. So you're able to do that without annoying him. Yeah.
Can Claude like stop eavesdropping and kind of just walk up to them and like just like listen to the conversation?
Sure.
Actually,
Sure. Where's Moss at this time?
like in my hair stuff.
Okay. Moss is quietly just sitting there, just observing. So kind of like 2 hours pass. The steamboat, it takes a little bit, but it kind of trudges along through the water. Things are pretty easy. To your right on the boat, you kind of see what looks to be a docking area, where you kind of see like there's some people trying to like clear the way on the railway, as you kind of see it's pretty flooded. He kind of looks over and says, oh yeah, there's the docking area where we sent the first and last group out. Haven't seen them since. I don't know if they'll know anything, but technically if there wasn't so much flooding, we would be leaving here. But looks at you, McCoy's like, where do you want to keep going then, Captain? Captain, where do you want to go?
Northwest.
They trudge along. And at this time, it's kind of like an open area. It's a very sunny, humid day. And I just want to ask, is anyone doing anything while they're sitting on the boat? Chester's driving the boat. Yeah, we'll start with you.
Is he done with his story?
Roll d20.
Can I roll a d20?
Hold on, no, hold on.
5.
He's not done with the story.
Can I try and say that I should make some food?
Nope.
And then come
You
back?
rolled a 5.
No, that was.
Wait. Oh, so you're gonna ask again?
Yeah, I was asking for if the story was still going. I'm gonna ask now if I.
Okay,
can
ask
leave
now.
to get some food.
Roll for charisma.
Oh god.
18.
He looks at you and he says, "All right, nice talking with you." So you're able to leave.
Let's go.
Then he looks at like McCoy and Claude and just keeps going with their story. Yeah, Claude.
So are we kind of roped into this too now since we're
Well, you're standing there by proximity, so yes.
Okay. Can Claude kind of just can he just kind of leave because he doesn't really care what this guy thinks of him?
You try to do that. Can you roll a d20?
He just grabs my arm and like throws me. Oh, 8.
You take a few steps away. You move your hand up. Moss is gone.
Oh, of course. Can I like quickly turn around?
You do, and you turn around, and you see Chester is at the wheel, and he's talking to the frog, and the frog is just sitting there.
Can he get can like Claude get super excited and like run back?
You can.
You can talk to the frog too?
Just like, no, it's the only thing listening. and sorry, Captain over there is listening too. The frog just sits there and blinks.
Can Claude just like stand next to him but not like pick up Moss because Moss is just sitting on the wheel?
You try to pick
No,
up.
not pick him up. Just like let him.
Oh, you're just gonna leave him?
Yeah,
Okay.
like stand next to.
Okay, so you're there, and
he
he's
likes him more now
yeah,
that he's talking.
and he's telling the story, and you're just standing there now, hearing more of the story. McCoy, is there anything you're gonna do?
I'm just gonna keep listening.
Okay.
What happened?
Okay. Abigail, was there anything you want to do with your character at this time?
No, not really. All she's doing is just drawing
Okay.
on a piece of paper.
Okay. Godfrey, is there anything you're gonna do at this time?
I'm gonna play with my bat.
Your bat?
Yes.
Almost sounds like you sound like your bag.
My bat. Yeehaw.
No.
It's sunny.
Hold on.
My bat.
Bat.
Yes, bat.
So say that again. So, Godfrey, what are you doing at this time?
I'm gonna play with my bat.
Okay. So you are playing with your bats. You try to like interact with the bat, and your bat is kind of like wants to sit there in your little coat. It's bright out, and it's just kind of like sleepy. It doesn't really want to move. It kind of glares at you as you're trying to like wake it up.
I'm very sad. Close my coat.
Okay.
Very sad.
I'm gonna try to guilt trip it so it'll play with me.
Okay.
Guilt trip.
Eric, are you gonna do anything at this time?
Not really. I am not really doing much, and I don't really know what else to do.
Okay. Lucas.
Can I go down and like grab my supplies from the donkey and go to the kitchen to make some food?
Sure. So Donkey's like in the lower decks, just kind of sitting there where like pigs and other animals would be kept. You get your supplies off your donkey. You go in the little like rudimentary kitchen that there is, and you start like firing up, making a fire, cooking things up. What are you gonna be cooking?
Just some like food for the trip.
Okay.
It's
so-
midday, right? It's like lunch.
Okay, so you're making some lunch. Question: who's like? So I know Claude and McCoy are by the wheel. Your Lucas is below deck. Do you guys, Reno and Cronus, where are you guys on the boat? Are you below deck, upper deck, by the railing?
I'm below deck because it's darker there.
Okay, so you're you're kind of like where we were beginning, like in that little middle area. And then Eric, where are you? Are you in lower deck or?
I'm in the top deck.
Okay. Cool. So, Lucas, can you roll d20?
For intelligence,
Yeah, sure.
20.
You notice that when you're sitting there cooking, you notice that Godfrey walks down below deck, and he's just kind of like sitting there below deck. Not where, like, because most people are up deck, and he's not really talking to you. He's just walking down there. He's kind of keeping his space and just sitting somewhere, just keeping to himself. So you just notice that.
Can I say hi?
Sure.
Hey.
Hi.
What you doing out here?
Sorry about your donkey.
I remember what happened when I was first entering the boat, and I just like kind of look at him.
No, I wouldn't actually do that. I'm not that mean.
I make like a spitting noise, but not actually spit.
Sure.
Wow, spitting in the food now?
No, his food specifically.
Wow.
So wait, so you spat in salt,
I just made a spitting noise.
Okay,
but like, are you actually spitting in character, or so you're making it sound like you're about to spit?
Yes.
Okay, can you roll deception, and Kronos can roll for a d20 to see whether you actually fall for this?
20!
17.
You try to, and Godfrey's just like, oh, you thought you were pretending to spit in my food? I saw you. I see through your lies.
I'm gonna start gaslighting.
Yeah.
Poisonous food.
Okay, so are you gonna say anything else then before he's left to his own?
I'm gonna try, now that it's darker, I'm gonna try to call my bat so he can harass,
Okay, the bat.
Jesse.
Do you have communion? Is that a spell or can you talk to your bat through?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, you can. I was just like, you do have communion. You talked to the alligator. You got spooked. Do you want to talk to your bat, or are you just telling the bat what to do?
I'm just gonna tell the bat what to do.
You-
Give him the rough run through. We're gonna annoy this guy.
The bat kind of like opens its eyes and just looks around, and it kind of stretches its wings out, flaps its wings, and flies out of your coat. Lucas, can you roll d20?
16.
So you're sitting there, just cooking your food. Every now and then, you just hear like a little flyby, and you look around and just don't really see the bat. And you're just like cook, and then it's just gone.
There was no bat.
You clearly hear something, but you're just like every time you look over, it's like it's not there.
Can I just like keep working on that?
Yeah, you're gonna keep working. So like this bat just like buzzes around. At this time, can everyone up deck, including the middle deck, can you just roll for intelligence, please?
Six.
3.
19.
14.
Okay. And I'll roll for Chester. Okay. Chester's kind of driving the boat. He's not really paying too much attention as you guys go between two like land masses where like most land masses in the area are like just swampy marshlands. Like you theoretically can walk on it, but obviously it's not unless you brought in good boots. It's not fun walking. But up ahead in this little, in fact, I'll kind of walk up here. In that area, those who rolled high, you notice there's something there by the banking. Chester doesn't seem to really notice it. However, McCoy, you notice something, as well as Abigail. He's just driving and he's about to like turn the boat away. Like to go in the opposite way.
I told him to stop.
He perks up and he just like salts the boat. It's like, well, what is it?
I think I found a little goodie.
He like looks around. He's like, goody. And he looks around. He's like, oh, you see something? Sorry, it took me a little bit to realize that. Where at, Captain?
All right. I look over to the railings on the top deck and to try to locate where that thing was that I saw.
So it's like only a few miles down this little banking up here. So in this case, if I were to move it just to like visualize where it would be, it'd be like somewhere over there. And he kind of looks over. He says, you want me to bring the boat closer? May not be anything, but I'll follow orders.
Yeah.
Kind of nods a little bit and just turns the ship, and it faces the new direction, and it kind of goes up. So in this area right here. So at this time, when people, like the boat's kind of slowing down a little bit, and McCoy, you rolled high. You look over, and you definitely see what looks to be like a box, like a cargo box. There's like 3 of them just kind of bobbing up and down the water. And he looks around and says, oh, looks like some boxes. think.
I look at the captain and
You're the captain.
I look at
myself.
Chester?
Chester. and then at Claude. And I look back at the thing. I think that's the thing we're looking for.
Maybe. I mean, there's plenty of random boxes one might find here, but you know.
So random boxes, you say?
Well, I mean, this area is loaded with like lost boats, lost cargo, and this job you're doing is not the first time a crew disappeared in this godforsaken place. I mean, we'll check it out if you want, Captain.
Yeah, you're getting off the boat and you're checking it out.
Oh, I was strictly told to drive the boat.
Oh well.
Because if I go, who's gonna drive the boat?
Oh, isn't McCoy the captain?
Can Claude like pick up his frog and then turn to McCoy?
Sure.
Sir, I'd go down there for you if you ask.
Really?
Yeah, you just send maybe a partner or something so I could help get the cargo up.
Alright, well, and I nod at Claude and I go down to the main deck and I look around to see if anyone's there.
So the only people who was up on deck, because like Cronus and Lucas are down below deck, so the only people you see is you have Eric and Reno's character.
I speak up. Who's willing to go to Claude to find a box that was somewhere in this area?
Gibbs.
Do I hear this?
No.
Alright, you. Abigail, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going with Claude.
Alright.
Thank you, Miss Landon.
No
So
problem.
you guys kind of look out over the railing and you see these three little wooden boxes. They're just kind of bobbing up and down. It's kind of hard to see if there's anything else below the water because the water is so murky. However, you definitely feel the boat bob a little bit. There are some little smaller canoes that is part of this boat. How do you guys want to go about doing this?
Can we take a canoe? Kinda. Claude's like used canoes for because of his time in the water, like
Okay.
boats and stuff.
Okay.
Miss Landon, we should take a canoe down to the cargo.
My character nods her head and just says, alright. Go.
So you guys both get into the canoe. Chester kind of walks over and just slowly starts to lower the rope. When you guys splash down the canoe, Lucas and Cronus hears like the sound of something splashing in the water. And you're like, what was that? But you don't really think too much on it. McCoy, are you going to be like just watching them, or where are you going to be on the boat?
I'm gonna be near the railing and just watch them.
Okay. Eric, you kind of notice that people are moving the boat. Are you going to do anything at this time?
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
I have no reason to do anything, so I'm just gonna watch and look as they, take it.
Okay. So you guys are in a canoe. You guys are looking off. Like these boxes are like maybe 10 feet away from you guys. You definitely have to paddle a little bit. So can both of you guys do a strength roll, please?
18.
7.
So Claude is on the back of the canoe, and they're the ones like really like paddling. Abigail, you struggle a little bit, but luckily because they rolled pi, it takes a little bit longer. You definitely almost went in like little circles because you're not paddling hard enough, but Claude quickly helps and corrects that. So you paddle out. There is literally a box. It's not too far. In fact, it's like the box is like no bigger than like this desk. Like it's pretty big, but like not too big. You can almost grab onto it. What are you gonna do?
Before we do anything, can Claude ask Abigail if she's all right? Because he kind of like saw her struggling a little because he's in the back.
Sure.
Are you all right, Miss Landon?
Yeah, I'm alright. Water isn't really my favorite thing.
I'm sorry for dragging you down here then.
No, it's alright.
Okay. So the box is kind of sitting there just bobbing up and down, up and down, up and down.
Can Claude kind of like reach out to try to grab it?
Sure. You reach out and grab it. McCoy, can you roll a d20, please?
14.
Okay. Can you two roll a d20, please?
Abigail?
Yeah.
13.
Any modifiers?
Nope.
13.
9.
As you're reaching out, you grab onto the box. It's a little heavy, but you're kind of pulling it over. McCoy, while the boat and the two people are facing this box, you see what looks to be like you just hear like a splash.
I hear this, and
Yeah.
I look over to where Claude and Abigail would be.
So they're in a little canoe. They're a little far out from the boat. They seem to be trying to bring in this box. And when you're looking down, like the water's kind of like there's lots of ripples and it's a really kind of murky water. If you want to try and look closer, you can, but you have to make an intelligence roll.
Yeah, I'll make a roll.
You look at the water for a really long time and you sort of stare at it. In the water's surface, you definitely see like after a while making sure like it's not like a stick or a rock, like you do see like a black shadow and it's slowly just kind of like just hovering itself under the canoe where those two are at.
Yeah. I would yell them to come back.
Okay, so you hear, what are you saying to them exactly?
Come back. Just yell come back.
Okay. Okay, so you have the box. You haven't pulled it in yet. You're trying to grab onto it.
But we haven't gotten the box yet.
I don't care. Come back now.
Okay, sir. Something wrong?
There's a gator right under your canoe.
Well, that would have been helpful to say earlier rather than come back, wouldn't it?
You're just yelling this across the boat. Like, that would have been helpful. Just match this dialogue.
And Claude kind of just like looked.
You're hearing this.
Can I yell, is that Sass? Out the window, because I hear them being like, that would have been useful to know earlier. Like,
No,
is that Sass?
No, duh, Godfrey. What does it sound like?
Okay.
Sass!
Okay.
Can Claude kind of like yell at that and then look down at the gators because he's like fought gators before in his life?
Okay, I'm gonna give you advantage, but roll for intelligence as you're looking at the water.
I thought it was under us.
It was under you. Well,
14.
okay. Here's the thing. I only said shadow under the water. And of course, logically speaking, like, because it's a gator. When you look at the water, because you are familiar, I gave you a bit of advantage. But when you look at the water, you are pretty familiar, like what's a gator, what's most things in the water. When you look down, it's hard to see. You see the shadow, but when you like squint your eyes a little bit, you definitely do see like a face, but it's not an alligator. It is a catfish, but not just like a little catfish. When you look at the size of it, it's like almost like a 10-foot long catfish.
It's a dude.
Is Abigail like panicking at all?
Actual
Or is she calm? Is Abigail panicking at all or is she calm?
Fish.
No, well, your character knows the fish. Only mine does.
No.
Okay.
And on my character
Yeah.
turned up.
Also, I can't see the
This
We got
landed.
literally catfish.
I'll assure you, it's not an alligator. It is just a very large catfish.
You see like its head peeks out the water, and like the size of its head is like that big. It literally just like opens its mouth. Can you two roll intelligence?
Shoot that thing. Stupid ass.
Oh my god.
Language.
14.
16.
You definitely see something
Oh, wait,
sticking.
plus
Yeah,
intelligence.
yeah.
16.
You definitely look close, like at its like as it's like, because fish just open their mouth as they're breathing and their whatnot. you definitely see like what looks to be like a hand, like a human hand, just in its mouth, and then just like everyone's like, and it just goes in its mouth. It's jumping out of the water. It's gonna attack you guys. We're gonna start combat now.
Oh, it's a fish though.
You guys got catfish.